Hi and welcome again to BounceBack. Today's episode we're going to be looking at the discussions we've been having around clubs and how we're going to be able to get clubs active and working again as soon as the bans are lifted and we can get back into playing and coaching. One of the things we've got to look at obviously in the first place is your membership. So how have you been handling your membership and what is the idea with your membership going forwards? How are you looking after your existing members? What are you doing with those members? Are you going to extend their membership automatically next year? Are we asking people just to be realistic and know that the clubs in general are not really commercially driven and we still need that money to continue the club? How are you actually looking and modeling that going forwards? And when are you going to keep those communication channels open with your members so they know what's happening? And is your committee still meeting, albeit through Zoom or other means, to make sure there is a general consensus of the way to keep the club alive, even in these times where we can't play? And also, how are you looking at maybe getting new members now? Is this actually a real opportunity to be able to get more people into tennis? It is my belief that tennis will be one of the first sports back allowed because of the natural social distancing involved, and we should be looking to maximize that, as there are many sports that will not be able to come back as quickly as tennis can. So how are we going to look and market the membership to those people? In terms of the safety element, it's going to be the number one. We know everybody's going to be nervous about coming back out. Everybody's going to want to come back out, but we have to make it a safe environment. So as a club, what are you looking at to make it safe on court? How are you going to make tennis at your club on court safe? And how are you going to make the clubhouse and the area around your club safe? How are you going to maintain those social distancing rules, which we're pretty sure are still going to stay in place even if we're allowed out to play? That's still going to be in place. How are we going to manage that within your clubhouse? Is your clubhouse big enough? Do you need to section parts off? Are we going to have to look at the lines the same way as they've done in the supermarket? How are you going to make your clubhouse a safe environment for the players and for the parents who are bringing the kids hopefully to come back to play? How are you going to get back into your matches? Are you going to be able to play the matches? Do you need to try some matches in the club first to play around with some ideas? Are the leagues going to still run? Are we going to be able to get those leagues in this year? Maybe we are. I mean, leagues over the last few years have finished earlier and earlier to allow people to have their summer holidays. Not sure anybody's going to be flying away this summer, so are we actually going to be able to still play the leagues, albeit later in the year than we normally do? And who is driving that at the moment? Who's looking at that situation? Are you in contact with the league organisers? Is there some kind of provisional modelling going on? And what social activities may you or may you not be able to still run at the club? Look at what you've done in the past. Can you repeat that? Large social gatherings, it's going to be a while before we get those back, but is there a way of still creating a social atmosphere within the club, although it's difficult? What are you looking at in terms of the marketing? How are you going to promote tennis? You know, we're using bounce back all the time. Bounce back into the game, bounce back into the club. What are you doing as a club, individually, independently, to market yourselves and what you've got to offer? Getting your people to come back to play, looking at new players, maybe having an open door policy for a while, operate as either a pay and play or just a come and try. Engage with the community and get them back involved in the club. Is there a genuine opportunity now to create the community, the tennis club, as a community hub? Is it a way of engaging really with the community at whole? We've seen over the past few weeks the community reconnect with itself and go back into what we had in the traditional old-fashioned community element. Sadly, a lot of the community halls, the village halls, don't exist anymore. So is the tennis club actually has the opportunity to become that community hub, to engage with everybody in the community and use the tennis club as the community hub? And who knows, maybe get more people playing tennis. Does it actually engage with more people? Can we actually generate income through other means into the club to keep it sustainable? And does it actually help us break down the barriers? If we have the open door and we have it as the hub and engage with people, maybe we can get more people actually into the tennis club and see what tennis is all about, and actually appreciate it's not an exclusive elitist sport. Quick survey last week, average membership for adults around £250 a year. We know it varies, but take that as a given. It's £5 a week. £5 a week is a coffee and a cake in Starbucks. For that, you can play tennis every day. And people don't appreciate that tennis actually isn't an expensive sport to come and play. And if we can maybe open up the doors of the club and get more people in for any reason, maybe we can actually start breaking some of those barriers down as well. We know most tennis clubs in this country, around 2,500 clubs, are the traditional tennis clubs run by committees for the good of the club. But is this now also the time that we should be looking at the club as a business? Start to make sure it's a financially viable operation and go away from that less, let's say, amateur, no disrespect, but amateur operation of by committee, and make it more of a professional operation to work closely and build your business. The LTA have done an amazing job reducing loans, stopping the paybacks, financial support, but it won't go on forever. And if we do get a second wave, for example, which we don't know, will the LTA be able to do that again? Or do we need to start looking at saying we need to be a lot more independent? We need to be financially sustainable as a club without having to rely on other people. So let's put our little 3-court club in the rural community. Let's see if we can make a business model which makes it sustainable and stop relying on other people to have to keep bailing us out. And the communication message, I think, is very important. We have to start getting across that tennis is safe. That has to be the message that we as an industry, as a group of coaches, clubs, individuals, have to get that message across. Tennis is safe. Already said, it's naturally distancing. That net in the middle keeps us apart. We can't cross that barrier. It's a healthy lifestyle. It's a sport for life. You know from your own club that the membership range is probably 70 years between the youngest and the oldest members. There are virtually no other sports that can cross those age barriers. And at the same time, we know it's fun for all the family. You can play as a family, you can learn as a family, and you can experience the joys of tennis for life and the social and interaction that brings. And I think they're the things that as a club and as coaches working in clubs, we should be looking at how can we do that. So take some time, think about it. We have put this think tank together, around 50 coaches now, working together on the different elements that we're considering: coaching, clubs, tournaments, the social side, marketing, promotion, all the different things. If you'd like to join us, we're meeting regularly on Zoom. Please just drop me an email and I'll add you into the group, and please come and share your ideas, be part of this, and let's get tennis ready to bounce back as soon as we can. Until then, please stay well, stay safe, and take care. Cheers.